Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's tropical update. So we have a lot to talk about in the tropics, as we now have three areas to watch in the Atlantic Basin with substantial chances of development. So first, looking at Invest 91L, now has a 60% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 48 hours, and an 80% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 5 days. We now have a system in the north central Atlantic with a 60% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 48 hours and a 70% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 5 days. And then we have a system just east of the Cape Verde Islands with a 40% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 48 hours and a 50% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 5 days. So looking at Invest 91L, uh, the system has gotten a little bit better organized overnight. And even though it still looks slightly disorganized, many of the showers and storms have congealed around the center, and it is also moving to an area of much lighter wind shear from yesterday. As you can see, there's not a lot of clouds blowing from southwest to northeast. We still have a little bit of shear on the southeast part of the system where the clouds are blowing from northeast to southwest. But overall, this system continues to move parallel with an area of much weaker wind shear. And you can see it on the wind shear map. The system continues to move through this narrow corridor of uh, favorable upper level wind conditions by these green areas with strong shear to the north and to the south. And we're going to have to see if this continues over the next couple of days. But if Invest 91L can stay in this area of relatively light wind shear, then it could organize into a tropical depression or tropical storm over the next 24 to 48 hours. And looking at the intensity guidance models, they tend to like the idea of Invest 91L becoming a tropical storm within the next 24 to 48 hours, with the majority of the members strengthening it to a tropical storm within the next 24 hours. And now, many of the models want to take Invest 91L to hurricane status over the next 3 to 4 days. And a lot of models even want to take it to Category 2 hurricane status between days 4 and days 5, so between about September 3rd and September 4th. So we're really going to have to watch the intensity models because these have trended up over the last 24 hours. And looking at the spaghetti models for where Invest 91L is expected to move, thankfully, most of the models are curving this north of the Windward Islands, Puerto Rico, and Hispaniola, and then are starting to curve it northeast, well south of Bermuda. So hopefully these models continue to show the curve well south of Bermuda, but I'm going to keep my eye on you in Bermuda in case the models decide to trend more northwest with the storm. Now, taking a look at Typhoon Hinnamnor, it has weakened a little bit from yesterday, with now has winds of 125 knots, or about 145 miles per hour, the equivalent of a Category 4 hurricane. It continues to move now southwest towards the Japanese islands and is still expected to bring major impacts to these islands over here. Looking at the official Japanese equivalent National Weather Service forecast track, is currently situated south of Kadena, east of Miyakojima, and will move southwest between today and September the 2nd. And it's looking like Hinnamnor might stall out for a day just south of these islands over here and east of Taiwan between September 2nd and the 3rd before moving northwest, possibly making landfall near Ishikajima or Miyakojima likely on September the 3rd, and moving north just east of China by September the 4th and the 5th. So we're really going to have to watch Typhoon Hinnamnor to see if the track gets closer to China or Taiwan, because there could be impacts there now too. But really, if you live in Ishikajima or Miyakojima, you really need to prepare for this, because there are going to be serious impacts from Typhoon Hinnamnor, as it is projected to still have winds of 105 to 110 knots, which is the equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane. And finally, looking at the GFS model plots for Typhoon Hinnamnor, once it gets northeast of China, is expected to make a passage between South Korea and Japan, and still is projected to have central minimum pressure of between 930 and 940 millibars, likely still a Category 2 or even 3 hurricane equivalent, as it passes between South Korea and Japan. So if you live anywhere in the Western Pacific in these areas, prepare now for substantial impacts. Anyway, thanks for watching today's tropical update. Stay safe. I will continue to keep you updated on all these systems in the Atlantic and Typhoon Hinnamnor. Have a wonderful day, my friends.